Hey everyone, it's Kayvon with Askari Art. So I'm really excited today. We're going to do a 36 by 48 inch canvas painting. It's actually store-bought, and for my metric fans out there, that's 91.4 by 121.9 centimeters. And the colors that I'm going to be using, they're going to be 4 colors. 3 of those colors are going to be from a kit. So I wanted to show you that you can actually paint pretty much, you can paint from a kit, like 3 colors from a kit. And this is a Tim Holtz kit. It's Sunshine Yellow, Purple Twilight, and Sunset Orange. Here are the colors, and I'll show you the swatches in a minute. And the last color that I'm going to add, the 4th color, is going to be Antwerp Blue B37 by Copic. And that, let's see if we can get it in there, focused. Let's see, there we go. And here are the swatches. Here's the Antwerp Blue. You can see it's pretty bright blue. It's got hints of purple in it. Here's the Purple Twilight. Almost looks pink, but it is purple. Here's the Sunset Orange. And here's the Sunshine Yellow. Now, I may add Eggplant by Tim Holtz, which is this one right here, but I'm not exactly sure yet because I think that the colors, the Antwerp Blue and that Purple Twilight, may actually make a dark purple. So my paintings lately have been, very, there's a lot of pathways, a lot of cracks, a lot of very delicate brushwork. And this one's going to be very similar. I'm going to start with the blue and the purple, and I'm going to lead it to the yellow and the orange. Like the light at the end of the tunnel, this is kind of my expression of 2020 and how we're, almost about to hit 2021, and there is some light at the end of the tunnel. And what I'll be using from safety perspective, I'll be using a respirator with 60923 filters. They're pink filters. These guys, this is always safety, safety, safety first. And I will be using nitrile gloves and 99% alcohol, along with some brushes that I like, my little air rocket, and a blow dryer. And so that's it. Enough talk. Let's do it.
I'm going to work in sections and in pieces. So we're going to start on this side and go that way. The first color we're going to use is the Antwerp Blue. I'm just pushing it around right now just to get a sense of form. I'm going to add the purple in here as well. So, add some of that. There we go. I'm not worried too much right now about what it looks like because it's always going to change. Okay. Just going to keep spreading it. Okay. So we're just going to keep extending this out because this is our base. So I just want to make sure I get the right amount of color here. And we're able to spread it. I'm running it on a cool setting right now, the blow dryer. Again, don't worry about messing it up. I'm not, because I'm doing a little bit at a time. I'm guiding it, but I'm also letting it do its thing. I do want a certain direction, so I am playing with that. Okay. So we'll start adding the orange. And I'm going to add the alcohol with this. Because I want it to be very controlled in where it spreads. You're going to get some interesting browns happening. And out here, I'm going to add some of the yellow. I'm just pushing it back and forth, not worried about how it mixes, because we're going to have the ability to change that with the brush. I do like some of the things that are happening. See, some of the lines are starting to kind of develop on their own. Okay, so I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to push some of that yellow back in because it's too much. And I want it to feather, so that's the other idea behind it. So you see how I start and put the alcohol here and just let it sweep on its own. It tends to do that pretty good, pretty well. But I don't want it to sweep all the way back into here, so I'm having to kind of guide it and control it. You see how I'm softening this area here? Almost very sunset-like. And push it off. It's just a back and forth motion of ink. All right. So I'm going to start bringing in some of my brush work. I know it's early on. In most cases, I do it a little later, but I'm starting to see some things happening that I like, and I want to guide it with the brush. Making sure let's bring in a little bit more alcohol. Same thing here. See, I'm softening this area up, and I hope you can see kind of how I'm doing it. And yeah, you can see these drip marks, but I'm not really worried about them, because you can use a brush and kind of fade them out. It's too early to worry about that kind of stuff yet. And some people think that the reason why we're seeing these like uneven lines is because of moisture in the air, but it's simply not true. The reason why we're having these jagged edges, it's not because of moisture, it's because of the texture of the canvas. You know, it's kind of, it's sanded, but you still have a bit of texture there, and that's what gives you that jagged edge. And you can control that jagged edge by, you know, bringing in the brush and kind of straightening it out. I'm just going along these lines, just kind of adding my own and using the existing. Okay, so let's go to the bottom now, start working that in. So the idea is to have this like darkness color of purples and blues and possibly eggplant. I haven't decided yet, to kind of guide their way into this light area. So, and there's going to be a blending, as you can see here. So I just keep going. And so what I'm going to do here is, you see how I'm starting from the inside out now? Instead of pushing from the out in, I'm starting the ink on the outside. That'll give me some more edges. Add some blue right there. And some purple. It's kind of starting to take shape, which is a good thing. And then now we're going this way, so I'm going from the bottom. It just does different things. The alcohol will, the direction of how you pour the alcohol will allow you to accomplish different effects. So just remember that. Don't be afraid of it. Can't forget about this area. And make sure you treat. Again, so my paintings typically have a lot of layers of color. So even if it's the same color, it'll have many layers of that same color overlapping each other. So, and this is the process that it takes to be able to accomplish that. Okay, so now I think we do need to add that eggplant. So we're going to mix this eggplant up. And we're going to introduce this color to it. And I'm going to introduce it strategically into areas that I like. And since it's a little bit right now, because I'm worried about it being too dark, so we're going to just introduce it in a light amount of area. See what does it do, right? I'm re-adding the purple in there with the eggplant. This gives it a little bit more depth and dimension. And then we're going to bring in that blue in here. You notice on the blue, I haven't started adding, or in the dark areas, I haven't started brushing yet. Right now, I'm just working in direction. Just making sure. All right, so now we're going to go to the other side. So you notice that I'm working different parts of the canvas. Let me move this over a bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm working different parts of the canvas so that I try to start finding, I'm thinking about the composition, and I'm also thinking about, I'm thinking about the composition. I'm also thinking about what I'm trying to achieve with this. So there is a level of problem solving as we go through it. So I need my brush because that's where I start connecting some lines. As I'm using the blow dryer. So the alcohol obviously dries too fast because it is 99% and it dries too quickly. So what I do is I typically just add some alcohol in a cup and I dip my brushes in it and I start using it to control the ink. So like from here, I start drawing my line. I'm just using the lines that exist, and I'm distributing these lines where I think they should be. All right. So you can kind of start seeing the shape develop as I'm going through this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding some of the eggplant here and start bringing in some concentration of dark area to show I only want this area lit up. I want all this darkness to come in from both ends to where, you know, you've got this concentration. So let me go to the other side. I'm going to take my cup and stuff and get to the other side. So it's always about, for large paintings like this, I mean, this isn't too large. It's only 36 by 48, but for large paintings in general, you have to think about composition and you got to work through the whole thing as a whole. So you're always working through it from different angles and not focused about just one side or one portion. Now you can start by adding ink in like here and pushing it along and doing your thing, but that's okay. It's just, for me, once you start laying in your groundwork, then you need to start working in the other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blue and some eggplant here. Not too much because I know the blue is pretty concentrated and the eggplant seems to be as well. So we're going to add some blue. And where's my eggplant? Right here. Just just around here, yeah. And very cautiously, I'm going to add drops of ink. To push it that way. You can use the little Giotto ink lens cleaner to help you. Okay, just to give it the direction that I want. So I'm capping the top of my blow dryer so I can kind of control it a little large better. Okay, so I do need to add, I need to add a little bit more blue in here. And I'm just pushing the ink that way down, and just gonna do a couple drops. Try not to get these fingers, so what I'm doing is I'm trying not to push it too much, but if I need to push it and it's not moving, then I add alcohol, and it helps guide it. And I push the alcohol in, and then I bring it back out, in and back out. And I'll let it sit. So I just poured some alcohol here. I'm going to let it sit and just kind of move on its own accord. Again, so I'm trying to be very cautious and to not mixing into here yet, because I'd rather have a little bit more control. If it does mix, it's okay, but I'm just saying, like, overall, I just don't want to muddy that area up, because the blue and the yellow, orange is going to look brown when it dries, and I don't want that. I don't want it to look like mud. All right, let's use the brush now. Drawing general lines of where I want these colors to start blending into each other, and where I want the lines to show, and where I want it to be soft. And you can see I'm just moving around with the brush. Again, I want to make sure I blend it. So now, let's push some of this out. And let it sit for a little while. See if I can bleed it out a little bit. And it's all about just taking your time and working through it. And you have to be patient with it. And if you're not, if you start losing patience, then you need to take a break. I mean, that's pretty much, my advice. And I've done that before in other videos where I show you kind of like where I do have to take a break because it is stressful. It can be. You don't want it to be stressful. You want it to be fun. As soon as it becomes stressful, you need to stop because you're not going to be your best when you're stressed out. See, I'm just drawing a line, drawing multiple lines. You can show, oops, off the brush. soon as it starts bleeding and it starts looking like it's taking the edge of the canvas, I'll soften it up. So now I like this line right here. Kind of naturally started developing on its own. I bleed. Kind of pushing it around, moving it, making delicate, gentle brush strokes. Pushing the ink in and out. I'm just connecting the lines right now. Just bringing in some continuity throughout the piece. Okay, let's go here. Okay. So I'm going to leave it here. My back's starting to hurt. So the idea is here, I'm going to bring in some of this yellow back in and blend it. Sort of like here, but a little more. So I'm going to try to focus this orange in a certain area and then have it bleed off. So that's where I'm going to leave it right now.